Wonderful.
And
Never a doubt in my
there,
mind.
there we go. I knew I could do it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And you got the floating head almost here. If I do it right, I could be the floating head. So sorry about the delay. I just could not get it to go to the live stream. I figured out that I had to update all my URLs and do the reset on the URL stream. So if you ever have problems with that on Zoom, hit the reset, re-log in with new URLs and a new stream key. And that seemed to work for it. Like I said, you can only experiment on it and learn those things when it doesn't work. and look at today. Today I got a whole new crew. No Trina tonight. She's taking the night off. Everyone, she's got other things to do. Things came up. So guess what? We got David Castle in the house tonight. And
I'll send you some positive energy, Trina. Positive energy headed your way.
And then we got Mandy Moo, who's gonna read us a card tonight. And we got special guest Lucky Stone, who's also got a hat from Crystal. Yeah, Crystal, thank you, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal.
Yes, we love your hats. I don't know if she's in the chat tonight, but somebody can tell her thank you, or when you see it later, thank you. Very good hats. They're nice and warm. I've been trying on different hats. I think David Castle, you had some different ones. This is, Al's doing his thing with the funny hat deal. And if I can get it right, somewhere in here, then you can see my big old hat. Look at that one.
It clashes with my blue though, so that's why I just set it beside me and didn't want to wear it. Clashes.
All right. Well, that's all good. We got we got quite a few of them in the house. I hope everybody who left comes back. And if you didn't hear me say, come back, all is well right now, well, you will. We got a few people. Gaza Cav's in the house. Chloe's in the house. Barry Chad's in the house. Deborah Sloan's in the house. Teresa D'Anton, she's in the house. They had a great card reading over there. Gave me a great card, said, be the armadillo. And I was the armadillo tonight. So there you go. We had a few people in here earlier that were in, and Renee Hutchinson was in here. Michelle Can-Am Free. Milky's mom was in, I think, and Slightly Slanted from the Sleuth Steve and Jules. So anyway, hello to everybody. And Dart's in the house. I think people are starting to come back in. And Lori's in the house. See, Lori, I fixed it. I got it going. Yay. So it's all good. So anyway, back to things. Mandy, I know you got things to do and stuff. Could you read us a card?
Okay, so I've never done this deck before. So it's a psychic reading cards, and I've
give you the
got
view here.
I've got two. So this is just the challenges that we will face this week, and it's Bag of Marbles. And so it's about being focused, centered, and organized. You have received this card as a sign from the universe that you need to relax and focus on smaller details in your life at this time. Life can be overwhelming with its fast pace. Do you ever feel stressed, disorganized, forgetful, scattered, or unprepared? This is a sign from the universe letting you know to slow down and recenter your thoughts and emotions in order to calm your soul. This card represents being scattered in a way that you may feel you are losing your marbles. It could indicate it is a time to focus. You are trying to do too many things at once and are getting distracted. And you need to ground yourself and regain clarity. You or a family member might be having some memory issues. And the way to overcome this, I asked, and I got spirit guides. So your spirit guides has been with you through many lifetimes. Feel the connection. You have received this card from the universe to let you know that your spirit guides are waiting to interact with you right now. We are all spiritual beings living in an earthly existence. Prior to incarnating into earthly realm, we resided above within the universal realm. Once you incarnated into the earthly realm, you forgot where you came from prior to this lifetime. Spirit guides, psychic card reading is a gentle reminder that your spiritual guides want you to know they have always had you, will have and will always have you throughout your past, current, and future lifetimes. Your spirit guide has your highest interests at heart, and they will always be by your side. You will never interfere with your current lifetime, as you will always have free will. However, your guide might give you a gentle nudge to give you insight into choices as you have before you. As you are an earthly being, you have always had the choice of proceeding and not proceeding with any particular direction, whether or not you feel that it may be a good choice, that the choice is good or bad for you. What is most important is to remember that there are no mistakes in your life's path. Every experience you encounter is an involvement of your soul's journey to enlightenment. And then I just asked for a stone of the week, and the one that came to mind was lapis lazuli. And so lapis lazuli is the stone for stimulating wisdom and good judgment in the practical world. It aids intellect. It's great and it aids intellectual analysis in archaeology and historians, problem solving for lawyers, and creates new ideas for inventors and writers. Lapis lazuli is a powerful crystal for achieving the higher mind and enhancing intellectual ability. It stimulates the desire for knowledge, truth, and understanding, and aids the process of learning. It is excellent for enhancing the memory. A stone of truth, lapis encourages honesty of the spirit and in the spoken and written words. Wear it for all forms of deep communication. It is a stone of friendship and brings harmony in relationships.
Excellent.
Nice.
I got
Really
a
nice.
kid where it's lapis lazuli right there. Love it.
That's really cool. That's really cool. We're going to have to get you on and tell you about some of those different stones and what to do. So like when you get up in the morning, you just put on a different one for whatever day it is, kind of, huh? No?
Sometimes I wear crystals, sometimes I don't. I guess it's all the flow. It's all how you really want to work with crystals, definitely.
Yeah. I got one, and I like this one. This one is it's like a amethyst or purple like looking one. I don't know if you can see that really good, but anyway, and I got two of these. One I keep up here by my computer when I'm working on stuff and I'm having these problems, and either it's sucking the good stuff out of me or it's putting the good stuff in me, one or the other. And then I got one I keep in my pocket when I walk around, and go places and do things, so, and it's the same thing. It's the same color. I don't know how I ended up with two of the same colored ones. They came from two different separate places.
Yes, amethyst is a good stone for calming and things like that. So bringing about like a little bit of calming to the mind at times where you're like feeling really stressed. So amethyst is probably a good stone for that there.
Well, good. That's what I need. I need the calming. I had I was on the card show tonight there. They were, and they drew me a card that says armadillo. And all I kept imagining in my head while I was doing through all this stuff was, the protective shell of the armadillo, and we're trying to remember what Brian had said about it. I'm thinking just the armor of the armadillo. Anyway, so much for me. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go, guys. I've just got some customers here, but I'll be in chat. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Good night. Bye. Wow, that was awful nice.
Yes.
And we got other people that dropped in, and Mary Wins is in the house, and none of your business. And we got Truth in Me, or no, now it's Truth Within. Sorry about that. You change your name all the time, kind of like Isby. You changed it from Isby to Isby something, and now he's Isby 543 or BR 549, kind of. Always reminds me of hee haw. Well, finally I got you on, Lucky Stone, and that's the name everybody knows you by, so that's the best name to go by. That's your alter ego. Like me, I have 2 alter egos. I have you got a lizard too. Oh my.
Oh yeah, I have lots of lizards. I have like 6, I think.
Really?
I had one, and then people like, oh, you into lizards, right? Well, we have this one not taken care of. Take it off. They'll take it off your hands, and I gave it to me, and I can never say no. I actually have a lapis lazuli skull, which is kind of weird.
Oh,
Yeah.
Huh.
I collect crystals, which is, I guess, the stone idea comes from.
Nice. Now I got like 2.
I have a lot.
I've been meaning to get some more from Marsha Price. I want to get one of them pyramid things,
Yes, Marsha has some just exquisite stuff, and I see it, and I just die every time I see what she produces. It's just so wow.
Yeah, I know. It's really cool. It's amazing what they do with the pyramids. You know how many things are focused around pyramids? Man. They had that guy on the other night on Andromeda 7. I don't know if you guys all seen it, but he was talking about them pyramids. But yeah, there's experimentation they've done on that stuff that just blows your mind how, by just making that shape of the pyramid pointing in the right direction, anything inside that pyramid just changes. And I mean, you could make that pyramid out of anything, but as long as it's so there's something to it. It's not all hocus pocus or mumbo jumbo. You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree. 100%. I agree.
So whatever it is, something. I see
Probably,
Crystal MacArthur's finally in the house, and Crystal, we're wearing your hats.
Hi, Crystal.
You got the hat on. There you go. We already said that you weren't in there, so tough luck. Anyway, it was Sun Rabbit. Beer Love Ascension. She says Sun Rabbit. That's from I think he's in Germany. That's it. So anyway, I went ahead and I went through a whole bunch of your videos and I reviewed them all, because every now and then I watch them, and you're starting to make these shorter videos. I really like the short videos because it kind of like really hits the point of like wham bam. People don't have a long extension of a time span to watch, or their memory hole is really short, put it that way.
Yeah, it's the what it comes to is that I started making videos for me, so I could look back in the future and just see what happens and just how I progress, and kind of like putting bookmarks in my life. And then Spirit was basically last year before Christmas. I was encouraged from my guide to say, you have to start making YouTube videos. I'm like, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't know anything about it. Like, the only way to do it is just to do it, and it wasn't that difficult. We're on YouTube right now, and so I just started putting them out, and and the idea is like, well, people are gonna make fun of me. People at work find it. I'm like, what do you care? The people at work are never gonna find it because there are millions of people published every day. Yeah. So it's just on there. It's just there, and I didn't know what to do, and they go, just do it. And so I started walking in the woods and just doing it. And that's it. I just put these little. It used to be last year I did it every day. Something it was basically between 5 and 10 minutes. Now it's like I'll put one that's between 5 and 10 minutes, and then every day one that's less than a minute. And I love the shorts because I can get my ideas. It kind of forces me to be, to get whatever I have in my mind out. And then it's fine. It's out in the world. Not my problem anymore. People will talk about it. Come on, Nej. And after that, it's out in the world.
Absolutely. And I did the same thing. I take a lot of pictures, and I was making these videos even before I got on YouTube, and I was making them for me.
Yes.
And, I didn't have no spirit guides to tell me about it, but I think the one who told me about it is literally, I was making them for me because I thought, and I started uploading a few to YouTube. They were just little things until Brian finally really kind of kicked me in the ass. And then he says, you need to get out there and do that. And then we got talking about it on his show. And I says, if I'm going to brag about, hey, you people all got to get out there and make a video, I better get out there and make a video. So I started doing it more. And I'm glad I did. I really am. So you made all these videos, man, and there was a bunch of them, and so I wrote down some of them. I'll go reverse to the front to the back kind of thing. Act too soon, do nothing. Every day is new. Sometimes life gives you choices. Bring joy into your life. Fear about being positive. Every day is a good day to help others. Help yourself first, though. Memories, insights, feeling negative to experience positive. Life is a gift every day. Do people change and have a choice? Little things in life and a blank start. Were some of the ones, that I wrote down, here, and I'm like, man, just the title alone are really good. But then the little bit you said about it, you could just literally have an hour-long discussion about any one of those topics.
Yes, that's the idea. That's kind of what a lot of times is. My mind is always running about something or other, and these things kind of put a pin in it so I can look at it later and think about and consider. Because that's what I do when I walk. One thing about meditation is they tell you got to sit quietly, in the lotus position, focus your breathing, blah, blah, blah. That's not what meditation. Meditation is clearing the mind. And I can meditate while driving. It's not a great idea, but you can meditate while driving when you're focusing on the driving. But what mine is hiking. My hiking is meditation. And sometimes I just got to put these things into one little minute so that I can clear that out of my head to look at later. And I can clear my head and walk around, not have to worry about my crazy thoughts about, here and there. Because although they're very helpful, the idea is to actually clear your head once in a while and just allow yourself to think about nothing for a while. That's my walks were initially for health. I was supposed to, I wanted to lose weight, get healthy, just do stuff. And then it became, well, let's, add more to it. Let's do physical and spiritual. And then the ideas kept popping in my head. And then I make the videos to put put pinholes in things so I can so I can think about it later. But yeah, I do. Yeah, they're random. And sometimes they're the same thing over and over again over weeks, if I look at them, but just how the mind works. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with what I do because it's people comment about it and then I can have discussions. And if people disagree with it, which no one seems to do, which really makes it difficult for me to progress if no one's going to disagree with my thing. So I can't run, I don't want to always be right. I want to, have things to consider. I like having ideas to consider, which happens at work a lot, but I don't like that.
No, I totally agree. What you need is you need an opposite. Yeah, because I got one of those guys, and you think of something, and then they have a different take on the same thing, even though they may kind of agree with you, but they have a whole different take on it, and you can have a very good discussion about it because it makes you really think about something different.
Yes.
In the same way, I should say.
It's about listening. It's not about argument. It's about, even though you have a totally different points of view of a subject, you're both listening to each other, and that's how you grow. I have had friends like that, and they're diametrically opposed politically. Sports. A couple of friends were arguing over sports. I used to be into sports, but now I'm just let it go. And they were ripping each other apart about, because I live near Boston, so the Patriots and Tom Brady, the hero, is now in Tampa. And, that was a big argument whether Tom Brady was a great player or he was great because he was playing for the Patriots. And then, well, he down went to Tampa, and they're saying, well, he had a good bunch of players around him down in Tampa. I was like, well, he left the Patriots, and then they say, well, he betrayed the Patriots, on and on and on, and they're arguing, and I'm watching, going, I was joking. I brought up Tom Brady as a joke, and it just blew up on Facebook between two friends.
Mm-hmm.
And they just weren't listening to each other. And I listened to both of them, and they said, yes, they had very good points, both sides, but I can't stop either of them because they're all in their tears and they're ripping each other apart about sports and what importance is sports in life. But these guys are so focused on what's going to happen next week and how great Tom Brady is or how awful Tom Brady is. But for me, he's a great person. I don't care what team he's playing for. I think he's phenomenal. While the other guy who says he's no longer a Patriot, he's now the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's just a game. It's football. You know that. I mean, these people, they don't realize, I think, in the long run, that these guys, these players, they get paid a lot of money. They go to the team that pays them the most money, or that will pay them, period. And they go there and they play. And it doesn't matter, you know, which. If he would have stayed where he was, where was he in Patriots? He was with the Patriots, right?
Yeah, he was
so
in
if he stayed there, because the guy that paid him, and he went there, and he was a good player, they paid him more to go there. You see what I'm saying? And
it goes the same thing as politics.
Yeah.
Years ago, politics was not as taken as serious as it was. There was Democrats and Republicans, and they would work back and forth, and they would argue back and forth. But now it's become so serious that they hate each other, that they want their followers to hate each other. It's in all aspects of life right now. The fear, the anger, the hate is everywhere, and the negative entities are feeding off of it. But it might seem bad. It's actually good, because the reason why they're pushing so hard is because they're losing. And that's taken me a while to figure that one out. But it's actually a good sign, and it sounds so bad. You know, oh, we're living in horrible times, you know, blah, blah, blah. It actually isn't hard. It's a coding that we see out in the world. But if you actually interact with true people, everyone is pretty happy. Everyone's pretty calm, except for the ones that are sheer and total fear. And you just let them have their fear, because you can't stop it. If you're in total fear, they're going to have their fear. You can just calm them down a little bit. If they won't calm down, you step back and go, okay, yeah, I understand. And there's so much information that just, it'll kill you. But that's just how life is.
Well, it's part of the system. It's been divide and conquer since day one. They've always tried to find something that they could actually make you not like somebody else for. Right. And they put it on the news, and if one race kills another race, they're going to put it on the news. But if the same race kills each other, it doesn't make the news. You don't hear anything about that. They're pushing division, and they've pushed it so hard now that they're even trying to make you think that you're thinking differently, not them, because they are censoring people now from Facebook and the other place. I should even mention the companies, but they actually, if you have a different point of view now, you can't even actually sit down and have a discussion with anyone. They want you totally cut off. And then when you go in public, they want you to wear a muzzle. You putting this muzzle over your face. So, I mean, it's I don't know who manifested this, but it was not me.
Well, they want you to wear two muzzles now.
Yeah.
And I work in biotech, and the one thing that I know is that you put on two masks, you're going to get both. Neither of them are going to work right. That's the problem. It's bull, and it's this Fucci who's saying that wear two masks, it's safer. It isn't, because if you wear two, the first one's not going to work as well, and it's insanity. But it's good PR. It's good to put it out in the world so everyone sees and everyone's scared. Well, I got one woman who's just so scared that she says, "Oh, my son is so scared," blah blah blah, and I realize she instilled it in him, but I can't stop it. So I just gotta, it's not as bad as it seems, and I try to explain and just let it go.
Oh, I totally agree. Well, see, here's another thing with all these sports going on. They canned them for quite a while. Now they're bringing them back, but as a person, most people like to go to those things. They get into the thing and they cheer and they have a good time and they blow off all that steam and they root for their team. So instead of letting all that build up, you know, that you get from your job and from your life, you know, and then you would say, I'm going on the weekend, I'm going to go there, and you cheer and you root for your team and you drink the beer and you eat the popcorn and you yell at the kids and you push your way in there and you know what I mean?
No, you're right. I didn't think of that. You're right.
You know, but all of a sudden, guess what? You sit on your couch, you do nothing, you can watch it on the TV, and that's it. Okay. Well, now what do you do with all that pent up energy, all that frustration, all that? It starts to come out on your social media. It starts to come out in your daily life, at your work, everywhere.
Yep, and you're right.
And then you go, then they say, hey, there's a rally down the street. You know, they're protesting. Well, you know what? Guess what? I got nowhere else to go. I'm going to go down there and take out my frustrations. And the next thing you know, they got themselves a freaking Antifa party. And you know what I mean? And that ain't good. That's not good.
I didn't think of that. You're right. They took away the sports to divert the energy. Wow.
Yes. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they don't care where you focus your energy as long as you're divided, and they want you to actually have hate or fear in your heart. They don't care as long as you don't focus that energy at them. You're playing right into their game.
No, they want you to focus the energy in their way.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, they only give you one outlet. Remember, they said it's okay to go protest, but you can't do anything else. And I'm thinking, what is this? So you have one avenue. You can't go to a movie, you can't go to your restaurant, you can't go to a sport game, you can't go on a travel trip, you can't go on a cruise ship, you can't, I couldn't even all the can'ts you can't do. Heck, you couldn't even go to church. And now what avenue do you have? You have one avenue. They give you one out. That's the only thing you can do. What are you going to do? You're going to do it.
Wow. That's wow. I didn't.
And and then they open it up a little bit. This is about the part that's creating chaos. They open up the floodgates a little bit, and then they shut the floodgates. Then they open the floodgates and shut the floodgates. And for, like summer will come and they'll say, oh, it's all better. And then people, because you know what, in the middle of summer, if they said, we're locking you all down in the middle of summer, no going to the beach, no doing this, stay in your house. It's 100 degrees. It's a beautiful day, but don't even go outside. People would finally look out and say, it's a beautiful day. I want to work in my garden. Nope, you can't. Put on 2 masks and you can't go anywhere. People would just go berserko. And they know that. If I could figure it out, there's some psychiatrist person that works for the government that's figured it out already, 10 times over. And I'm not a super genius. I'm just a regular genius. But anyway, if I wanted to have a regular genius on or super genius on, I'd get Rocky Stucci, and he's in the house. So, hey, Rocky. Wow. So Rocky. Anyways, anyway, there we go. So, but that's the thing. So you had stuff, you were talking about what brings joy into your life, and you were talking about the fear and being positive in that one short you had. And you were talking about that lady or somebody at work that's all in fear. And I've seen those people. They're terrified. I had stories from Teresa. She was telling me how everybody in the one city that near you is like, everybody there is terrified. But then when you come out here, like out Midwest, like by me, nobody give a shit. They're all like, what? You want me to do what?
Yeah, I get swabbed every week. I gotta wear, if you're outside my cubicle, I gotta wear glasses. And then we have to have side shields, masks. And if you're in an office more than 15 minutes, you have to have a face shield on. It's crazy. And of course, I'm in Zoom meetings with people literally, because 4 cubicles together. I'll be in a Zoom meeting with 3 other people where literally cubicle to cubicle, and I go crazy because I speak, then I hear myself through their stupid phone because they don't have headphones on, and I'm trying because I'm a very much facts, matter of fact, just get this done quickly, and I hear myself talking to my, oh, it just drives me crazy, and I'm like, okay, before a Zoom meeting, I send all the information. Here's the notes. Here's what I'm going to talk about. Here's how I'm going to get through this. So I have to talk very little because it's just crazy. And we're next to each other. We can't be in a meeting. And the meeting rooms are huge, and no one can use them. It's insanity. But
and that's the exact thing. And it's not getting better. The it's like you just want to look at the other person and say, wake up. Hey,
Yep.
hey, you look around. Am I sick? And you're not sick, right?
Yep.
No. And you're not sick? No. Well, then what's the problem? And then, David, how's your city there?
It's all distractions. I mean, it's either a bigger city distraction or a little city distraction. They throw distraction at us anytime they start seeing that we make progress. There's got to be a distraction in your way. Dorothy, when she stayed her ass on the yellow brick road, she did just fine. But when these distractions pulled her off that yellow brick road, she starts finding these flying monkeys and these lollipop kids or Oompa Loompas or whichever story you want to throw in there. It's when you get off of your path. The breadcrumbs are the joy that you find in certain things. If you stick to what brings you that joy, you're going to stay along your path. But you might see a nice, bright, shiny object on this. Oh, it looks like it's just a couple blocks off the path. Maybe I should go check it out. And then you will go down these rabbit holes, and you invest your energy in things that really don't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you do. That's exactly it. You get distracted. I mean, I have that problem at work too, and I'm working. I got the job down that I could close my eyes and I could do the stuff, and I know exactly what I'm doing when I'm doing it, moving the valves and digging the things, but then all of a sudden somebody opens the door, hey, blah, 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 and then it's like, I forget what the hell I'm doing. And then everything falls apart. And then I got to stop and think, what did I do? Yeah. And that's just in the 5-minute span there. And it's like, just because I got distracted. And it's like, you know what I'm saying. But anyway, but we got to deal with
There's an entity around you at that moment, Robert V. There's an entity around you.
Yeah, exactly.
In that moment that you're feeling that, there's an entity around you trying to suck off your energy. They're trying to put these thoughts that are frustrating you. And if you just sit there and just say, wait a minute, F it, slow down, take a couple of deep breaths, you'll see that you're panicking about nothing. You will find it in a second. Calm down. It's around you. But I mean, we're taught that we've got to go. We got to be in such a big hurry to do certain things. I mean, you do them in your time. As long as they get done, it'll be all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I totally agree. Everything will get done in its due time. We just got to wait it out.
Yeah.
And like you were
Divine timing.
talking about. Yeah, you were talking like meditation and stuff. And I know when I'm working or I'm doing stuff too. I know Wayne has said a few times that he meditates like when he's washing dishes, but it's kind of the same thing. I'll be doing whatever and I'll be thinking about whatever over here. And yet I'm doing the stuff I'm supposed to do, like it's like tying your shoes. Did you ever try to tie your shoes and really think about tying your shoes? Or do you just go down there and tie your shoes and then you're done and you're like, I wonder how they got tied, but you start thinking about it and then you're going, man, I wonder if I'm doing that right. Mm-hmm. Because when you're tying them, you're always usually thinking about something else.
Yep.
And that's one of those simple things in life.
Especially when you're running late and going out the door. I got to tie up my shoes and get the heck out of here. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, unless you have slip-ons. So for all you people out there wearing slip-ons, But anyway, here was a good one. Feeling the negative. You were to experience the and experiencing the positive. That was a good one.
Yes.
Go into that one a little bit.
That's about when you hit, because it happens. There are days when you just hit that you just feel depressed or anxiety. Depression I can deal with because it comes and goes. Anxiety, it's like my best metaphor for anxiety is like someone sees a bear in front of them and you're terrified. It's a bear. Anxiety is you terrified. There's nothing. There's no bear. So there's nothing to go away, make it go away. So then you're sitting and going, oh my God, I have anxiety. Someone's going to find out. And then it gets worse and worse and worse. Well, when you in the lowest part and you have an anxiety, you just got to go, okay, I'm going to let myself experience it. It doesn't matter why I have it. I just want to feel it. I want to experience it. I'm just going to let it flow. I just got to let my mind go. And it's going to start throwing things out. What if? And you go, yeah, that's true. Because if you fight it and go, well, no, that's not true, it's going to come up with something else. But if you just, as each thing, I have no gas in my car is low in gas. What if I have to go to work and I'm not going to make it? Oh yeah, well that's true. That could happen. Yeah, we could stop, but we're going to be late for work. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, go on. And it just each of these things come up. But if you find something, well, no, that's not true. I have plenty of gas. I'll get to work, no problem. It's just going to come up with these worse things. But if you address your mind, that negative part of your head that keeps telling you these negative things, if you fight it, it's going to bring out worse ones. But if you agree, yes, that's true, maybe we should have a path forward, it kind of lowers it a little bit. And I mean, for me personally, I've always heard years ago in the spiritual movement, kill the ego. You got to kill the ego. And I did that for a while, and it never worked for me because it just made the ego stronger because I was fighting it. And that's the ego fights, feeds off attention and fighting. But if the ego tells you something, you go, well, that's not true. But you know what? There's a little bit of truth in that. Thank you for that little tiny bit of truth. Now the ego is being heard. And now the ego realizes, wait, if it's like a child, the ego, the more positive the ego is, the more you listen to it, the more positive the ego becomes. It's not a solve things because the ego is still going to be a little bit negative once in a while. But it does lower things down. It really helps me a lot. And I mean, I have fought, major anxiety attacks years ago, which was a strange thing being in your late 40s and never having anxiety attacks and then having them and not knowing what to do. And now they're coming up now and it's like, yeah, yep, they're there. It's just let it go. And once you experience and go, yeah, I'm going to experience this. I'm going to remember this and I'm going to feel this. I'm going to feel this anxiety. I'm going to feel this depression. I'm going to feel this anger. Anger is another one, I'm so mad about this thing. It's there. The situation's there. I'm going to feel it. I'm going to understand it. I'm not going to pass it off as nothing. I'm just going to feel it. And I'm going to study it. And it's here. I accept it. This is me, and I'm going to move on. Because the more you fight these negative emotions, the worse they get. It's a weird, at least for me, it's a weird paradigm where it just keeps, the more you fight it, the worse it gets. It's like like the fear feeds off fighting. That's how it is. The negative emotions feed off negative emotions, and all negative emotions, anger, sadness, all feed off fear. And fear is our biggest enemy, and that's also compassion is our biggest, help. It used to be love, but love can mean so many things sexually and something like that. But compassion is always compassion.
Yeah, I like that thought about that with the compassion and love a bit. But like you said, the fear makes you do stupid things. Makes you make irrational decisions it gives you that flight or fight moment in your body, in your head, because when you're fearing, you either want to run away or want to fight, because isn't that what it is? It's kind of like that.
When I'm talking about doing nothing, and sometimes when you're in the fear, you want to fix it. You want to make this go away, and it's just, you're in this spin. I got to fix this. I got to repair this. I got to make this better. But sometimes you have to stop and say, no, I might be take a few steps to fix this, but don't make the big steps because you're not thinking straight. And it's hard to tell yourself that you're not thinking straight, and I have to, because you want to go away, but sometimes you can't make it go away, but you can lower it a little bit to deal with later. But it's not procrastination, it's letting things flow. Sometimes you gotta let the things to fall before you can fix them, and that's the most difficult thing. Is like, I have to let this happen, let things fall apart before I can deal with it. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. But sometimes you have to stop yourself and go, okay, yep, I'm gonna feel the fear and just let it go until I can fix it later.
Yeah,
that's a big challenge. Yeah,
and that is, I think that's what drives a lot of people to do things, because, like you said, I was watching a video today about the fear of not having enough money, from Prepper Princess, and she was talking about being a hobo bag lady or something like that, bag lady syndrome, about, and I don't know if you guys listened to her or not, but anyway, it was a good one about how she's fearful of running out of money, and it kind of runs in her family about being not having enough or this or that or other. So literally she's separated herself from the world and focused on being a very conservative, so that she can have more money. And then when, she says, even in the twilight years, her relatives have had plenty of money, but they still live so frugally. And it's like, then what are you saving it for? I mean, are you really denying yourself life because you're so fearful of what it would be like without that? So you live so conservatively. You see what I'm saying? So, do you live like a hoarder? And then I there's other people who live like hoarders. I'm one of those. David Castle, looks like your shelves are packed full of stuff too.
Absolutely.
If you look back here, I got hordes of stuff back there too, and I got hordes of stuff back here. That's why I put the screen up. I'm a hoarder.
Just fond memories is what I've got behind me.
That's what I got too, but it's a lot of memories.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
Especially when you got a kid. Some things you just hold on to for a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that, and you just get things, and it's all up here, and nowadays we have it all on here and stuff, but I don't know. I still like to have I'm a little bit old school. I like to have my photo albums and my trinkets, and I got a big box, and I put all my good stuff in there, and it's like my little box of memories kind of thing too.
Think positively about that, because your energy goes where your thoughts flow. If you think something bad's going to happen, you're going to manifest something bad happening. You always got to think positive.
Yes. Positive. Exactly. And then concentrate on that positive. Like you're always telling me about focusing, David, and about you like to listen to music. What's your music of the day today?
Oh, I was doing the Time Warp
from
the Rocky Horror Picture Show before I came in here. I even got a little movie right there, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah.
There you go. See, like everybody has their thing of what to listen to, and it gets them in the mood. And I guess you got to do, what it is that you got to do to
raise your vibration, get yourself in that mind frame where this is your experience. Yeah. I'm not going to let the little black cube be used as a tool against me. If I'm going to use it, if I'm going to choose to watch the television, I'm going to watch something like maybe Rick and Morty that makes me laugh, or something that makes me interested or makes my mind think. I'm not going to watch the news, which is going to try to divide me and try to make me mad at somebody for being some sort of color or having some belief system that I don't believe in. I'm not going to put any energy into that. And I think most people aren't, because the news ratings are lower than they ever have been. People are just putting that shit down and putting it away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, now, Lucky, you go ahead and you go on those walks, I think, to meditate and to get you in that mood, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I need that. I need to go out and just walk.
Yeah.
So,
See, so we all do something. Like I love to go for my horse rides. So man, I tell you what, I go on there and my head just clears. I
yeah.
start thinking about stuff and that rhythm, you know. And of course, I get the big hat, you know, and then I'm riding and I'm just, you know, and I'm enjoying, or I'm going for a hike and I'm looking at things and I'm just, I don't know if you guys looked at my last video I did on my other, my channel, my other channel. And I put up another, you know,
Yeah.
Robert V Adventures. And where I went to Gibson Reservoir. And man, you know, hiking through the mountains there, it's just beautiful everywhere. And boy, I tell you, it just clears your mind, you know, and then you realize how big, once you get out there, you realize how big the world really is.
There's a lot of energy when you're in smashed in cities. There's a lot of energy bouncing off each other and interacting. If you go out into the country, there's still a lot of energy, but it's kind of a nature's energy, and it's the chi that the plants and the trees and the birds and the animals are giving to that area, and it's making that area what it is. And in the city, you're just so crashed. And I mean, it's great just to get away from all the radiation and all the thoughts for a little while, and it cleans your system. Good for your system.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody was talking, I was watching something about the grounding. Have either one of you tried the grounding, or maybe somebody in the chat? Has anybody done the grounding thing? Does that really work?
I ground every day.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay.
I ground during meditation every day as well.
Yeah.
Really?
It's there's a rock in the middle of the conservation area that I go to.
Yeah.
That I go to and I stand on, and I bring source energy to the rock, and to the rock down to source to the grounding energy in Mother Earth, then the grounding energy of Mother Earth into the rock, and then up to source. It's a long process where I bring source energy out to everywhere, and the grounding energy of Mother Earth everywhere. It's two separate sides of how to add positive energy, because you kind of need both. You need your physical part, which is Mother Earth. We're physically part of Mother Earth. In the spiritual part, you know, we're a combination of both. We're, you know, intellectually and physically combined, and that's kind of my job, is to bring that here and to, you know, clear the area, because there used to be problems. There used to be, you know, I guess years ago they used to find drugs, needles all over on the trails. It's not happening anymore, they were saying, and I'm like, oh, well, that's nice, you know. And one of the guys was like, yeah, it's like coming here, it's like a whole new place. And I'm like, well, maybe what I'm doing is working, or maybe, you know, I'm coming here and because it's a better place. But
yeah,
because I do run into the same people, although none of us wear masks, but we kind of, you know, keep our distance, do the 6 feet thing. And I know all their dogs' names, but I don't know their names. But that's a different thing entirely. But yeah, there's a rock, and there's a guy who his name is Sean, who I run every so often. He wants to meditate there, you know, together at some point. And you know, it's like, yeah, there's a certain area that near the end of the vernal pool. I'm like, yeah, that rock. I stand on it every day and meditate and bring in, you know, I ground it and everything. And he goes, it's you doing that? And then I said, well, there's another area. Someone's stacking rocks. This guy stacks these boulders, sometimes 4, sometimes 8 high.
Wow.
And he goes all over the place and does that. And I'm like, yeah, someone's been stacking the rocks. I think that's fascinating, but I can't. He goes, yeah, it takes me a few minutes. I'm like, but yeah, you meet different people, and some people are in tune with the energy and some aren't, and that's fine.
Nice. Now, now this is kind of a, you know, you can answer kind of question. Now, I know you talk to like your spirit guides or the spirits out there, kind of whatever. Do you ask them questions like that? Did they guide you to tell you about the grounding or how that's going to affect you? Or do you ever ask them kind of things like that? How can you get better?
Yes, I ask them, but a lot of times my conversations with them are like, if I was a child in elementary school and this is a professor from college and I'm asking questions on how to do calculus, and sometimes they try to explain to me, you know, and like, and then they stop and go, okay, yeah, he's not going to understand it that way. So they try to explain it in a different way. And a lot of times the way they communicate is through concepts and ideas. It's not direct English language. It's more trying to guide me through ideas. I mean, there are guides who are actually past spirits who passed away and still hang around, and they're a little different, but they're helpful. But there are spirits all over the place. If you're open to them, they're willing to talk to you. But a lot of them don't really want to talk to people because the living are just obnoxious most of the time. That's how they feel about us. And there are spirits that are everywhere. The ones you see on the TV shows, I love Ghost Adventures. I love watching that.
Yeah.
But those spirits survive off negative energy. And Ghost Adventures investigators, they give that. And, you know, and they'll find it because there's always go, hey, those are Ghost Adventures guys. We want some energy. We're going to go and we're going to scare them and get some, you know, that's how it works out. But if you ask the right questions, you'll get the right answers. But sometimes the answers you get lead you on a path. I used to do psychic readings for people, and a lot of them were just so far off. And I'm like, what's going on? And they go, well, we've got to get them in that direction. So we're going to give them what they need to know that isn't going to apply till now, but it's going to run in their head, and it's going to put them in the right path in the future. And I'm like, I don't want to play this game anymore.
I see. So it's like telling them, well, you know, they need to buy a house because if they buy a house, they'll meet their new husband or wife, and then they'll have some kids. And so you tell them that a big windfall is coming their way, or a good job, and that you know, they see a family in their, or instead of saying they see a family in their future, they say you see a new home or a new change in your life that includes a new house or something, and then that'll set them on their path.
It's a lot of manipulation.
One
was a woman who was this is horrible, but she was dating a guy who was and she asked, you know, is he cheating on me? And it was so evident that he was cheating on her, and I knew he was cheating on her, but I had to go with the cards, and the card said, you're not good enough for him. And boom. And she's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, unfortunately, you're not good enough for him. You've got to be better of a person, because she was basing herself off of him. It's the weirdest thing. And in order for her to snap out of it, was her to better herself, to improve herself for him to realize, wait a second, he's no good for me. And it was one of the weirdest things where that's what spirit guided me. And I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I mean, there was a time when I went against what they recommended, which is when I only told half of the message, and I knew what the whole message was. And they said, yeah, we're not playing this game anymore. And they ramped things up, and they had her come back to me and said, I need more, I need more, I need more. And I gave her the whole message. And it's like, wow. I'm manipulating people. Well, spirit is manipulating me, but it's for the betterment of everyone, you know, doing it was so weird. And I just
you're playing politics, man. You were playing politics.
I know it was the weirdest thing. And it was, you know, and this was all early life. And, you know, when I used to read for so many people, and it was always I never charged anything. Yeah. That was another thing with spirit, which says, yeah, there have to be an exchange. We don't care what the exchange is. They have to give something. It became just give me a quarter, $1 or something. Well, and I was like, there needs to be an exchange, because if I don't receive something from you, you're not going to take the whole message. You're not going to appreciate it. No one appreciates anything for free.
Yeah. That is so true.
And it goes spinning around and around, because a lot of people want free readings. Like, oh, it's a gift from God. You know, you should appreciate it and you should give it out to everybody. It doesn't work like that, because the living are just they're insufferable, and the spirits are. There are more spirits than there are living people, because there's so many different realms and different levels, and it's complicated.
Yeah, I don't know. Did you watch that bit? Lori had that on with the orbs flying around at the end of the show tonight, in there after the card readings. That was crazy, and they're, it just tells you that there's so much going on. Brian, Lunsford, he was just, like, wow, look at that. They're having a party, and people, if you didn't see that, go back and watch that. It was really interesting. Very good capture, Lori. I think she had it on some cameras or something, but anyway, that was a really good capture. It just tells you that those orbs, people think spirits are everywhere. Now the big question is, okay, so I get that it's hard for people to open up and talk to their spirit. I try to, do that, but I don't know if I don't have any luck at that. I mean, is there a process? You just got to call out and say, okay, I'm ready to talk to you guys now, or something? Or it just, for you, I think it just came naturally. And David, I don't know if you hear any of that stuff or whatever, but I'm still on the bleachers because I haven't got there yet.
If you want to have an experience, or if you want to answer to a question, the easiest way that I've been getting the answers is setting my intentions before I go to bed. When you set your intentions and you make sure, I always add something that I want it to be a positive experience from my aspect. So I make sure I get positive energy and I'm not getting some mad, crazy, I don't know, manifestation from somewhere else. So you just be mindful and be aware of your wording of things and set the intentions. And usually within a few days, 2 or 3 days, I'll have a dream or something that answers that question.
Yeah. Oh, that was another thing. And so, I watch a bunch of this stuff and I listen to a lot of people. And what I'm getting out of it is, like, I think Darth brought this up a while back. And it was like, okay, he's there with his magic wand and he's casting his spells, kind of thing. And he's like, oh, when you manifest or do or cast a spell, or it ain't like in the movies where, hocus pocus and poof, there it is. Yeah. No, you have to do it. And then how do I put this? And maybe you can back me up on this, Lucky. The time is only for us, and in the spiritual realm or the other parts or dimensions, it's not the same. It doesn't exist like it does here, is it?
Yes, that's true, 100%. The time that they live, they don't have time. They pop in. Whew, it's so confusing. How they interact with us is different. They have to actually want to interact with us, because we're living in time. They don't, but they can come in and out of our time. But for them, it's irrelevant. It's tough. And how, in another problem with all the spiritual stuff, with all these things and how to meditate and how to reach your spirit guides, it's all personal. So whatever works for me, it's not going to work for you. That's a huge problem, where someone will say, oh, this book, it's fantastic. Here's all the answers. And they hand it to you when you're reading it and you're going, none of this works. This is all bull. But it's all because you need to find your way. One thing I have whenever I feel doubt or not quite sure, I have a coin in my pocket that's yes and no. I was talking to my guides and, hey, should I play lottery? And they would not answer. I'm like, I could do so much good for the lottery. I'm like, yeah, you could do good with the lottery. You'd be great. You're generous. You're perfect. And should I play the lottery? And I'm like, okay, if I flip the coin, no. Well, I'll do good. And I flipped the coin. Okay, should I play the lottery? Flip it, no. One more time. I flipped the coin, no. And then the guides literally came to me and said, you're going to keep doing this. And you're going to flip that coin, and it's going to say no how many times you do it. And to me, it's statistically impossible to flip a coin 5 or 6 times for it to each say the same thing over and over again. Oh, no, it's not statistically impossible. It's an abnormality. It's a statistical abnormality, logic speaking.
Yes.
So you have to find your little trick or your little thing that you can believe in and you gotta, for me it was that silly coin. I used to use pendulums, and I couldn't quite get pendulums right. I have divination cards. Those cards aren't produced anymore, so I get kind of like special to me. And then I don't use tarot cards. I use something called The Way of the Cartouche by Anne Murray. No, Hope Murray. Doesn't matter. She's well past deceased.
Yeah.
So I don't use those cards anymore, but flipping the coin and, of course, directly talking to my guides. That's the easiest way. My guides is, okay, this is how things are going to be. Now I have to tell this to somebody. But, yeah. So you have to find your thing. You have Marsha's rods of Ra. Those will balance you.
Yes.
They did weird things to me. Wayne had different reactions, and I have a whole different thing in images that I haven't had since college. That there was an issue with you talking about the pyramid and being inside the pyramid, and my guides had said, if you ever meditating inside the pyramid, you're not ready for it. And again, it happened recently. The rods of Ra, and I was meditating with rods of Ra, and there I was in this pyramid, and it's not a pyramid. It's a crystal pyramid, but not physical crystal. It's a temporal crystal, which is something I don't even understand. And it doesn't exist in the three. Oh, it's such a weird place. And I'm not ready for that level. And the guides are like, yeah, you're not ready for it. But when you are ready for it, it'll come to you. That's a lot of times to know. For you, you have to believe that you're worthy to receive this stuff. And even you say, well, I want it. But you can say it vocally, but there's something in the back of your head, the doubt. If you doubt yourself, you're not going to be able to perceive it. You're not going to be able to achieve it. That's the problem. Yes. Doubt is the worst part. That little tiny sit in the back of your head, doubt. It's going to just ruin everything.
Absolutely. I had this big thought about this the other day too. And I was thinking about all the things that, I would like to do or want to do, or I should do, or, these like things that we're like superhuman and we can really do it. And why can't we do all these things? And it's because I tell myself, it's been drilled into my head that I can't do it. And to get rid of that block now, it's because it's like saying, we'll just use a crazy example. I want to fly, right? Well, I can't fly because I've told myself I can't fly. And even if I go on top of the roof and jump off, somewhere in the back of my head, I have a doubt that I can fly. Even though I really, truly believe I want to fly, I'm not going to fly because I know I have a doubt somewhere that I'm going to fall to the ground. And that's why I can't do it. Right?
Yes, you know what gravity is, and it's been drilled in your head, and that's the reality we live in, and that's we've accepted it.
And once you take something out of the realm of possibility, then it's no longer possible. You shouldn't take it and say, I can't do that, because that makes it impossible. You can't do it right now, maybe, if you want to go ahead and finish the sentence, but once you completely eliminate that option, then that option's not available. It'll never happen.
Yeah. I totally agree. Now, I almost wish I could just like brainwash myself into like, wipe my slate clean and start over, I don't know anything. Instead of having to relearn all the stuff that I've already clogged my head full of crap full of.
Absolutely. Your schooling was obedience training, and it was to teach you how you're supposed to act when you get into a room full of people. It wasn't for smart things.
Yes, I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally agree. And look at, we go to work, we do the things, a lot of the stuff I noticed, like we were talking about stuff and being a hoarder here, and all these things that we have, and how much stuff do you have that you got because you were told that it was what you really needed, and you really didn't need it. Have you gone around your house and said, I really need this? Why do I need this? Why do I need that? How much money did I spend in my lifetime on all the stuff that I really didn't need. Or I went and I got this cool toaster, the cooker thing that cooks eggs and makes them really flat like a pancakes and cooking them on both sides. I got one of those. And, you know, I was like, what do I do with this thing? And, you know, I'm like, I'll put it on one of my shelves here somewhere. And, you know, and then you get it and you used it. And then you don't use it for 6 months and you're thinking, why do I have this thing? Why did I buy that thing?
Mm-hmm.
What did I need it for?
Yeah.
I don't need it anymore. But you don't want to throw it away because, well, I paid for it. Well,
Right.
you know, it's worth something. And see, this is the thing you were talking about, free. Getting something for free, like the same thing you were talking about for free is like a pet. You never want to give a pet away.
No.
Because if you do, the person's going to treat it like crap most of the time.
Right.
Because they got it for free. It's like, if that thing gets hit by a truck, it's all right. I got it for free. It didn't cost me anything.
Right.
But I had to pay $200 for that dog, and I'm going to freaking hunt it down and find out where it is so it don't get run over. I'm going to keep it on a leash. I'm going to do whatever it is. I'm going to hold it in my arms all day long if I have to so the thing don't get run over. I paid $200 for that.
Mm-hmm.
And but that's the thing. Here, I got a good example.
Yeah.
I got this. I just looked up here.
I love and feed all animals, so I don't resonate with that.
Here's a perfect example of something I have that's totally useless.
It's pretty, Robert V. It brings out your eyes.
Yes, I love making tea, right? I have a teapot. This is a nice teapot, and I used it for a while, and I made tea with it. And I love it, except the handle broke, right? And so I bought myself a copper teapot, which is really nice. And I love the copper teapot. So this one I put on the shelf, and it's been sitting on the shelf for, you know, quite a while. As you can see, it's got a lot of dust on it. So it's been sitting there for a long time with a broken handle. But somehow I keep telling myself I'm going to fix this thing. I'm going to glue it, or I'm going to do something with it, or whatever. But I haven't. But I have another one. I went out and bought more, spent more money instead of fixing this. And now I have two of them, and one of them is broken. And I somehow refuse to throw this thing away.
You could have called this show The Tea Party with Lucky Stone and David Castle with Mandy Moo as a guest. And you could have served tea in there.
So what do I do with that? You know, I mean, look at the problems I have. This is a problem I have. I have this thing about not throwing it away because I might fix it and it's still good. I mean, I could cook tea in it. I could boil water in it. You know, it's still good, but do I need it? I got one already. I got actually a couple of them. You know, I don't need it anymore, but here it sits 2 years on the shelf. What's wrong with me?
There's attachment. You have attachment.
Well, I have attachment because I paid for it. That's what it is. I paid money for that, and now I have an attachment to it. So you know those readings you were doing?
Yeah.
Is that could be one of the things why those people paid attention to that reading, because they had to give money or give an exchange for it, so they had an attachment to that reading.
Yeah.
If you would have gave it to them for free, they'd have no attachment to it. Like, you know, it's like a piece of paper. I got it. Look at this piece of paper. You know. Yeah, there you go. But now if I had to pay for that piece of paper, I would be holding on to it. I'd be putting it in my pocket. I'd be saving it. Look at, I got that reading. You know, I'm keeping it. Look at, I got that. Oh, I got that piece of, I'm folding it up. I'm going to put it in my pocket. I'm going to keep it forever because I paid 50 cents.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe if something doesn't become needful for like certain tasks, or it doesn't bring a fond memory, or it doesn't make you smile, if it doesn't put a smile on your face, then maybe you should move on from it.
Yeah.
Release it. Let it go.
Yeah. I think that's all of us have these problems. I mean, you know, and
the void will take it. It's got everything, Robert V. The void's got everything in it.
Yeah, I know. And if I have this problem, I know a lot of people have this problem. I mean, David, I could see if I didn't have all this stuff, this covering here, you could see my problem. I can see your problem behind you,
Lots
and
of
lucky,
movies.
I'm sure you got, I got like 100,000 movies back here.
Yeah.
And why do I need all those? I mean, I know I like them and they're here and I got them and I don't have TV and everything. Do you know how many movies I watch? I don't watch many movies. Maybe one or two, maybe a month, and 15 minutes. It's usually on just to make some noise in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
I watch movies mostly because I don't like watching things on TV. So I mostly, if I see it's trying to make one person or one race or something look bad to the other one, I immediately just turn it off. Go get a movie, put something on that's going to make me laugh or going to make me think. And that way I keep my energy out of all the mess that they've caused.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Oh, man, we've learned a lot tonight.
Don't be scared to have experiences because like we were talking right before you came on, some of our worst decisions have harvested some of our best experiences. I mean, have your experience and don't be so scared.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Life is lessons.
Yes, life is lessons, and you got to learn them, and then you got to get over them, and you got to quit doubting your doubts.
Mm-hmm.
You got to throw away the teapot. You know what? I'm going to start a new trend. I am going to throw that teapot away tomorrow, and I'm going to make a video of it so that you all can see it.
Will you sing I'm a little teapot short and stout before you do it?
Maybe. but see, that's the thing. I'm going to start, I'm going to start somewhere. See, that's what it's all about. I'm going to have to, if I can do it, you all can do it too. And we'll start a movement, to declutter our lives, to quit listening to all that propaganda stuff, buying things that you really don't need because they look cool, or you wanted to waste your money on something and now you have, here's one of these cool things that I bought that I have that I carry around. Oh, you'll love this thing. Now watch this. I'm going to move the camera, everybody, and I'm going to put this up and you're going to love this. Okay, hold on. This is going to be fun. Okay, here we go. You're going to get a laugh out of this.
Yeah.
Look at this little guy.
Yeah. What is that?
That's the point. What is it? I don't know where I bought it at, but somebody had made this thing. Look at this. It's a dancing doohickey that winds up.
But did you hear yourself laughing? I mean, it raised your vibration, so you can't get rid of it. It raises your vibration, Robert B.
Well, I know, but the funny part that's making me laugh is that I paid money for this thing. I paid money for something that does nothing. I don't know what I bought it. I've had it for quite a few years, but I bought this. I have it. It does no purpose at all. It really does nothing. It's one of those crazy. I mean, all it does is dance around.
It made you laugh. That's its purpose.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Well, but I mean, most of the time it doesn't. It just sits there unless I wind it up, and then I just kind of, if you guys weren't here, it wouldn't be so funny. I'd just wind it up, and it'd be like, oh yeah. Okay, it's done its thing. I'm done. But see, that's what I'm saying. Is it's wind it up, it does its thing, and then it's done, and I look at it and go, well, it's not practical.
Nope.
It's not useful. It doesn't do anything. I got one laugh or two laughs out of it, and that's it. How much did I pay for this? I don't know how much I paid for this. This is like $5 or $10 or something crazy like it. But the guy had a whole bunch of them, and
You should get a cat. That thing would drive a cat crazy, I think, if you put like a feather on it or something.
I got 3 dogs. I got 3 dogs and puppies on the way. So if anybody wants a puppy, I got puppies coming from the cutest dog in the freaking world. Ariel, come here. I gotta show you the dog. Anyway, you guys, it's a crazy night. What the hell, right? Come here. You gotta come here. Come on. You got your dog. I gotta have my dog. Oh, she's heavy now.
Yeah.
Look at that. This is the best little dog in the world. She is so smart. Yeah, you see her in all my videos. So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, you can't see her.
Yeah.
But you got to go to my channel and subscribe to my channel. Oh, she's such a lover.
She's giving you a hug.
Yes, she is. But anyway, she's going to have puppies. Ooh, yeah, big puppies. She's going to have puppies any day now. And well, Papa's a blue heeler. Yeah, so he's here somewhere too. Oh, yeah, he's right there. Yeah, okay. Can you come here? Come here. Oops. I don't want to do that. Okay, come here. Let's see. There he is. There's Chief. There he is. Good boy. Same. So anyway, the dogs are all getting attention today.
Yeah.
That's the father. I got the whole. Oops. Yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Should we send him some Milkbone cigars? Is this his first litter?
No, it's the second.
Okay.
I had pups before with her. So. Oh, wow. This has been a really interesting show. Lucky, I thank you for coming on. This was really good. I love the insight you have on stuff. Like I said, we could go through all that stuff that you go. I mean, we could have show after show after show on all that. Man, I do enjoy your channel. Thank you for doing what you do. You're like a philosopher on a walk.
Really?
That was the idea.
There you go. See, your spirit guides, whatever they were guiding you in the right spot. Yeah. You know what the funny part is, is that I had David Null on, and he had a very similar story to that. You know, where his guides or whatever told him that he needed to start a YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
Why that is, I don't know. But when you tell me the same thing, it's like, wow, is this something, maybe you can ask your spirit guides later on, hey, is this something you guys are manipulating everybody to do to make everybody join together in a weird sort of sense, like the manipulation, like you were talking about, like, you just need to start a YouTube channel. But in the long run, this puts you into this chain of events.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
It's using a system that the YouTube is not a healthy system. So let's make it healthy. Facebook's not a healthy system. Let's make it healthy. There's healthiness in each of the negativity of the social networks.
Yes.
It's in there. It's infusing, and yes, the goodness is infiltrating the negative. Is it's just how the system works, and they're using it to their advantage.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, well, and that's the thing. There's nothing wrong with technology. Technology is technology.
Yes.
And you can't, but you can manipulate the technology to make it bad. Oh, son of a gun, I did something there. Anyway, well, did you see that I seen the screen go weird.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think I figured it out.
Good.
Man, I figured out. Look at that. And now,
wow.
Look at that. I figured it out. Ha! I ain't no floating head no more.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I hit the right button. It took me the whole show to do it, but I did it. But see, but you're right. They're telling us to get on here to make it a better system, right? But, or to make the positive in with the negative.
We need to communicate each other from around the world. We have YouTube is around the world, and it's although they might try to manipulate it in a way, it's the goodness will find a way around it. It's just, we're using their weapons against them, sort of thing. Because honestly, you can spend hours on YouTube and get nothing done. I do that all the time. That's when you were talking about hoarding, hoarding. I hoard stuff and I hoard video content. Like, oh, I got to find this out. I'll watch people play video games. I'll watch a person playing a video game for an hour and I'll get enjoyment out of it. But
wow,
why am I doing that? Actually, the banter. I watch Markiplier, who to me is hilarious because he's terrible at playing video games, but that's the idea. I watch him play video games because the banter with him and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
But why? I mean, honestly, I get nothing from it. There's no benefit from it. If I do the same 1 hour walking around the woods, I feel much better about myself, and I feel part of the woods, and I might even see something that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
But
Yeah, David?
So yeah.
Yeah, I believe that we're supposed to share our experiences. That's the way that we grow. If you can help someone through their experience by an experience you had, I mean, that helps out a lot, and you get more experiences, and there's more opportunity to get more energy in from these experiences if they know that you're going to share it and it's going to help people along the way.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we are getting long in the tooth. It's been a long show we started late, but thank you all. Thank you, David. Thank you, Lucky. I am so glad I had you guys on.
Nice to meet you, Lucky.
Oh,
and we'll do this all again. And thank you to everybody in the chat. I see David Barry finally showed up.
Hey,
it's early in the morning for him, probably about 4 or 5 o'clock. Slightly slanted. Steve's here. He's probably plowing snow. I heard they're going to have a big snowstorm up that way. And everybody else that was in here, it's stuck it out. Darth, Truth in Me, or Within Me, and whatever. I think she's going to get on Discord. We're all going to have a little chit chat afterwards. So hope you all join us, and love you all. Be the frequency you want us to be, and see you next week.
David, you well, Boston.
Boston.